Welcome to Thipana News Corner. Today, in our show, Know Them Better, we have our guest here. Our guest today is Mr. Lebepe. You want to know Mr. Lebepe as a businessman more, when I know more about Mr. Lebepe. I know him, but you don't know him. Mr. Can you please introduce yourself to our listeners and viewers?
Okay, thank you. It is a great honor for you to host me in this show. I really appreciate the opportunity provided to me to tell your viewers more about myself. I'm Evans Lebepe, the director and the managing director of Lebepe Poultry Farm.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, it's a great honor to have you, Mr. Lebepe, in our show. Remember, our show is Know Them Better. So, Mr. Evans Lebepe is one of our businessmen in our community here at Lemondokop Village. So, today we decided to know Mr. Lebepe better about his business called Lebepe Poultry Farm. So, Mr. Lebepe, when did you start this business?
Sure. I started this business in 2013 officially on my own. In fact, before I started this poultry farm, I worked at Mr. Price home, Mall of the North. That is where I generated the capital to start the business. Yeah. I then resigned some late in 2013 at Mr. Price. I can't remember the exact month. That is when I came back to start the poultry farm. I started small, obviously, because the capital that I had was not actually enough for me to start big. And at that time, I had no employees. I was working on my own. 2014, I continued on my own. 2015, I employed one. That is when I was able to progress, and then the number of chickens that I was putting per batch was increasing. When I started, I used to put only 200 chickens, but 2015, I was putting around 500 per batch. So I gradually grew until I started. I started to employ more people. From 2015, I employed one. 2016, I employed one more, which means I was having 2 employees. Then, but today, as we speak, I've got 4 permanent employees.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So far, we can hear you, Mr. Lebepe, and adding from your comment, I was about to ask you how many employees do you have, but you already told us that you have 4 employees.
Yes.
That shows that your business is growing, and it shows that you are supporting. Because in South Africa so far we have a more percentage of unemployment rate. So that means you are part of the contribution to fight against unemployment. So it's a good thing in our community to see some of the businessmen caring about people, because those people that you employed so far, they got their families and they support their families. That means so far, Mr. Lebepe, we just so going forward, Mr. Lebepe, what inspired you, Mr. Lebepe, to come or to start this business, especially like business? Out of many business, you just decided to venture into farming. What inspired you?
Okay. Firstly, to answer the first phase of your question, what inspired me to start a business? My answer is very simple. There's a shortage of employment in South Africa, and it is actually upon us as youth, as South Africans, to create employment for other people who are able to secure employment elsewhere. So that was the first motivation for me to create employment. And also, I like money.
Yeah.
So I always believe that my salary will never be enough will never be enough to allow me to achieve what I want to achieve in life.
Yes.
So that is where another motivation came from. So I basically it was two motivation to create extra income for myself, and also to create employment opportunities for other people who are unable to secure an employment opportunity elsewhere. Then coming to the second phase of your question, where you said what inspired me to venture into poultry farming.
To add more, to add more in that question, we just wanna know, especially maybe a role model, someone that you look into, that okay, I look into, for example, we got other surrounding farmers like ZZ2. So someone that inspired you to love this fraternity of farming.
I don't know. I didn't venture into farming because I was looking at someone to say this person is inspiring me. Let me follow into his or her footsteps. The love for farming came after I completed my matric, where I couldn't pursue my educational studies with either a university or a college. That is when I started being closer to the guys that were actually doing poultry farming. I learned a lot, and then from the learnings and from the experience that I had, that is when I decided that I should actually proceed with poultry farming on my own. Not necessarily to say I was inspired by anybody, but the love for farming that I developed over the years, the love for creating opportunities for other people, the love for the agriculture sector on its own. That is actually what inspired me.
Okay. And really, Mr. Lebepe. So, these days, there are so many opportunities. So, when I decided, okay, as a youth, you just want to more farming. So, I choose a artist. I choose a lawyer. I choose a doctor. So, when Mara, most South Africa, there is a spaces for into farming. So that thing inspired and okay in the as South Africa. Because farming is all about agriculture.
Yes.
And again, Upola was Rena from South Africa. Renalo Shumisa import China, recruit China. So nine inspired Thipana just connected the more the moga and the poultry farm again. We won't very Lebepe into our community. So moving forward, Mr. Lebepe, what kind of challenges? Because obviously into everything we do is either business or it can be a student, but there are some challenges. Before you reach that, even though you are successful, but before you reach that stage of success, during the course of or during some of the challenges, what kind of challenges do you into farming?
Okay, thank you. Before I come to the issue of challenges, let me touch something that you've touched when you were summarizing, when you were making a summary. There's no life without agriculture. There's no way we can say we are living as human beings without agriculture. agriculture is the core of our lives, and agriculture is central to the economy of this country. So whether we need it or whether we want it or not, agriculture will always be there, and then that's the reason why that is one of the things that keeps on motivating me. I also learned since COVID has started last year that without agriculture we are nothing. We were all surviving because of your ginger, because of your what is this other thing? The ginger and what are you doing this thing? Ginger and garlic.
Garlic, yeah.
All those things are as a result of farming.
It's part of farming, and so far because of COVID-19, those things they are in demand.
They are in demand, including pineapple. So yeah. They will tell you that for you to boost your immune system, you have to use ginger. You have to use the lemons. You have to use your pineapple. You have to use your garlic. All those things are there because as a result of farming. And even if you have observed throughout the level 5 and 4, that was announced by the president last year in 2020. Most of the sectors were closed, but the farming sector was never closed. Yes. Lebepe Poultry Farm was never on lockdown. And during those periods of lockdown, because people were not going to town, there was a lot of business for us as the agriculture sector, because a lot of people will come and buy chickens instead of going them to town to buy your bread packs and things like that. So during that time, there was more business, and then the agricultural sector was never impacted, or let me say the poultry industry was not impacted. Yeah. Okay. So and then coming back to the issue of challenges, which was your question, there is always challenges in the business. Yeah. Sometimes one of the biggest enemies in the poultry industry is pandemics, sicknesses. Because once you are unable to control the sicknesses in the farm or in your chicken houses, then you will never make profit. We have to make sure that as and when you clean up your chicken houses, you clean them adequately. You use all the chemicals that are there that will assist you to kill all the bacteria and things like that, so that when the new bird comes in, it finds the chicken house clean. If you can look in one of my houses, I use lime. I applied lime on the floor. The purpose of that lime, it assists to kill the bacteria. So it prevents the spread of bacteria.
Sorry, Mr. Lebepe, adding to your comment right now, I just want to know other thing. Okay, when your chickens like a small poultry farmer, you just grow from the start, or you just buy and sell? I just want to know. We grow from the start, or
we grow them from scratch, from the start. Okay. We buy them as the old chickens. We grow them for 5 weeks. It depends, 5 or 6. Sometimes we start selling them at 5 weeks. Sometimes if the growth was delayed, we start selling them from 6 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Mr. Lebepe, what kind of advice can you give to the upcoming farmers? Because of today, I can see like, as you said, or no, agriculture is the way. So, 2 days ago, I was going around our community. I can see that most of the youth are inspired to venture into farming. So there's other youth outside or around South Africa. What kind of advice can you give to those upcoming farmers?
They must just take an initiative, because without taking an initiative, you will never know if something will become a success or not. So you have to take that initiative, engage with other people that have been there in the industry, read, consult, and make sure that you do invest a lot of time into the project. Because if you, as the initiator, you don't invest a lot of time into this, there's no way to become successful. You have to take the first thing. You have to take an initiative, invest a lot of time into it, engage the people that have been in the industry, read more about the project that you are embarking on, and then the rest is history.
Okay. So, Mr. Lebepe, when you grow up, we are going back now, back to our roots. When you grow up, was being a farmer part of your dream while you are still here?
Sure, yes. Although at that time I never thought I'll venture into poultry, but farming was always something that I was always thinking about, but not necessarily poultry. So as and when I was thinking about farming, I was thinking more about tomatoes, more about planting orange trees, those kind of things that I believed would actually be something that I would go for. But suddenly things have changed. I have now ventured into poultry, and then now I've just added another leg or another face into my business, which is the goods, which I'm planning to go bigger with them. Yeah.
Okay. Ending from that, good listeners and viewers out there for Thipana News Corner, we're going to show you just a view of Lebepe Poultry Farm after this interview, or during the course of this interview. We're still going to take some pictures or videos. We're going to see how big is Lebepe Poultry Farm. So Lebepe Poultry Farm is one of the fast growing business in our community. Remember, our village is Lemondokop. Okay, coming from a break, Mr. Lebepe, so Mr. Lebepe, what is the most important thing in your life?
My family.
Your family.
My family. Because they are the pillar. They are my pillar of strength. Every morning when I wake up, when I look at them, they are the ones who actually motivate me to go an extra mile. Because my main aim is to leave a legacy that they will actually cherish, that they will actually celebrate, that they will be proud of. When I wake up, or when I look at them, when I look at my wife, when I look at my children, when I look at my mother and my siblings in general, I become motivated, and then they give me a reason why I should wake up and explore the world.
So another question, Mr. Lebepe. So what kind of scale do you think our government so far must invest on?
I think the focus from the government side should be on equipping the youth, the South African youth, with the necessary skills on how to become successful entrepreneurs. Because looking at the rate in which people lose the employment, the focus should be on how people can survive after they've lost their work. So, and obviously one of the ways in which people can sustain themselves is through self-employment. And then for you to become self-employed, you need to have the necessary skills to become an entrepreneur. So that is where that I believe that the government should come in, invest more on entrepreneurship, come with programs in which people will become educated, will become equipped with the necessary skills on how to run businesses, because it doesn't matter how many millions you have. If you don't have the necessary skills, your business will never become successful. So that is where I see the gap. There is funding from government, but I don't see the programs in which government strives to empower emerging entrepreneurs with the necessary skills.
Adding to that, Mr. Lebepe, we used to have a program called NYDA. That kind of programs were made to inspire or to what can I say?
Motivate.
Yeah, to motivate youth, or to fund youth to start their own businesses. So far, during these days, I no longer see more of that kind of program from government side.
The question that we must ask ourselves is it effective? Is NODA effective? I think that should be the starting point. I don't think they are effective, because if we are to rate something, we have to rate it based on the outcomes or of the program. I remember once I applied for funding, but I've never got any. I've never even received feedback as to why I wasn't successful. So I wouldn't say NYDA is effective. I think the manner in which it is done, managed, is not the right way, because I can't tell you if it's effective, but honestly speaking, in fact, I don't think it is effective. Yes.
Okay, Mr. Lebepe, up to so far, Mr. Lebepe, we're now going to some of the general questions. Yeah, it was a good interview. Remember, our viewers, you are watching Thipana News Corner TV, YouTube. Please subscribe, like, and share, and comment. There, don't forget. Yeah, we are Thipana News Corner TV on YouTube channel. Please support us. Then we keep watching more of this. We need your support. When you keep on supporting us, then you will make us grow. Then Rabatogale, Lena Labatogale. So okay, Mr. Lebepe, what is your favorite song, Mr. Lebepe?
Favorite song?
Yeah, I can't ask more about the genres. I just want to know any song. Like most of the time, like you are playing. Let me ask this like this. Like give me maybe three songs that you always play in your car or when you relax at home. Like three playlists.
I don't necessarily have specific songs that I would say I play them. The fact is that I like Tonga music. Thomas Chauke, to be precise.
Okay.
So as and when I play one of his albums, it is comforting. So I'm not necessarily to say which album or which track. Any of those songs, as long as I play them, they comfort me, they guide me, they motivate me, they give me a reason why I should go for more.
Okay, so out of that Thomas Chauke album, there is a song that you always play on repeat. What is the name of that song?
Sure, that one is a tough one. I'm not sure.
But there is one track that you know. This one I can play maybe twice or more than twice.
Sure.
Okay. Overall, you play Thomas Chauke.
Yeah.
Thomas Chauke.
It's either I play Dr. Thomas Chauke's music or gospel music. Okay. I'm not that much into R&B, but gospel or Thomas Chauke. That's it. And it's difficult for me to say which song per se, but one of the songs that I know that I like from his recent album is the Shiganga. The song titled named Shiganga.
Okay.
That is one of the songs that I like. Yeah, I can play repeatedly, but most everybody that does not mean that it's the only song that I would play repeatedly.
Okay.
There's a lot of songs that I can repeat on a number of occasions, but Chiganga's Duo is one of them. Just to give a remember.
Okay, noted, Mr. Lebepe. Ubale na kwelo le kondo utsiyana kwale na life arena dadila nasi lobile kamata. Okay, Mr. Lebepe, you have something you would like to share that I never asked you with our viewers. Anything that you would like to share with our viewers?
Okay, what I can say to Thipana's kind of viewers is that nothing is impossible in life. The most important thing is the willingness from within, is the desire, the appetite to explore, and then and not being reluctant to take chances or to take risks, as long as those risks are calculated risks.
Meaning focus, perseverance,
and the desire.
Okay. All right, Mr. Lebepe, Mr. Lebepe. Ovalerena Thipana News Corner. Remember, the name of the show is Know Them Better. Today, our guest is Mr. Lebepe from Lebepe Poultry Farm at Lemondokop Village, situated at D11 Road. Alexander Lemondokop, first short left after bridge. At Nyagalan section, the first section on your left hand side is Lebepe Poultry Farm. So it's where we are right now. So really Mr. Lebepe, Ralega usiku, esfaragalo, lubise malaba. Kare ntoni dia wa really pale le difela. Ona mala ba manchel a benefit ka munde. Kala bangala yona e khodi. Really mona.
Thank you.
So hello, our viewers, we are there also on Facebook. You can follow us. We are Thipana News Corner. There's a page there on Facebook. You can like that page. If we have more news or you just wanna feature here in one of our shows, you got an email. You can email us at thipananewscorner@gmail.com. Thipana News Corner @gmail.com. Thank you.